Hello everyone and welcome to my complete Phoebe guide. Phoebe is the first limited damage overtime resonator. As for her gameplay, Phoebe has two states, Absolution and Confession. Absolution state is focused on damage output, while the Confession state applies Spectro Frazzle effect to enemies. Spectro Frazzle effect is a debuff that is stackable. While Spectro Frazzle effect lasts, the number of its stacks is periodically reduced by 1 to deal Spectro damage to the target. And as the stacks accumulate, the damage from Spectro Frazzle effect increases significantly. The damage from Spectro Frazzle is not influenced by crit or attack of the resonator. It depends on the number of Spectro Frazzle stacks and the level of the resonator. This video will cover everything you need to know about her, so without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting with her kit. Phoebe has a 3-hit basic attack combo. She can do heavy and mid-air attack like a normal resonator. However, she has a special attack called mid-air heavy attack. All you have to do is cast a heavy attack while in mid-air, and Phoebe will go into Harry Potter mode and ride her staff for a distance. This attack doesn't deal any damage. It can be used for exploration or to dodge some enemies' attacks. On using her skill, she will summon a ring of mirrors in an area near the enemy, which will immobilize the target for 2 seconds. The immobilize effect can be applied to 12 enemies max. Using the skill again will make Phoebe teleport to the location of Ring of Mirrors. When Phoebe is outside of the Ring of Mirrors, a basic attack or dodge counter that hits the Ring of Mirrors will refract the light to deal damage to enemies inside the Ring of Mirrors, and will also pull the enemies that are hit by this light to the center of the ring. The damage dealt by the light is considered basic attack damage, and it can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. When Phoebe is inside the Ring of Mirrors, her basic attacks and dodge counters get enhanced. They deal a lot more damage than the normal basic attack and dodge counters. So basically, staying outside the ring helps with crowd control, and staying inside deals more damage. Phoebe's Forte circuit is divided in 2 parts. Let's go step by step. Phoebe can hold up to 120 prayer, which are her first Forte circuit stacks. She automatically gains 5 prayers per second, and there's no other way to get it. So you will just need to wait for 24 seconds. Luckily, in Tower of Adversity, she starts with full prayer and keeps gaining them even when she is off-field and during her rotation. When the prayer is full, you can use it to either cast a heavy attack or resonance skill. Casting the heavy attack, called as Absolution Litany, will deal damage. It has a very high multiplier. Additionally, it will apply 1 stack of Spectro Frazzle to the enemy's hit, and she will enter Absolution state, which lets her deal more damage. After doing this attack, you will see a new yellow Forte circuit bar. This bar is called as Divine Voice. When Phoebe has Divine Voice, casting her basic attack stage 3 or dodge counter will enhance the next heavy attack, which is called as Heavy Attack Star Flash, and it deals a good amount of damage. In Absolution state, this attack will cost only 15 Divine Voice, letting you cast up to 14 Star Flashes, and if the target hit has Spectro Frazzle on them, this attack will gain 256% damage amplification. This basically increases her Star Flash damage by 3.5 times, so it is important to have Spectro Frazzle applied on the enemy. Since Phoebe only applies 1 Spectro Frazzle with her attack, you might be wondering, how can we get more stacks? The simple answer is to use another Spectro Frazzle applier, the Spectro Rover with her, which I will discuss more in the teams section. The Resonance Liberation initially deals some decent damage. If it is casted while Phoebe is in Absolution state, the damage multiplier of the Liberation will be increased by 255%, which lets it deal massive amounts of damage. The outro skill deals a massive damage equal to 528% of Phoebe's attack, and if it is cast while in Absolution state, the damage multiplier of the outro skill will be increased by 255%. If you hold the Resonance skill, Phoebe will do an attack called Utter Confession, which deals damage, apply 1 stack of Spectro Frazzle, and enable Confession state. This state is good for enhancing Spectro Frazzle damage. In this state, the heavy attack Star Flash will consume 30 divine points, so this means you can only cast 2 of them and applies 5 Spectro Frazzle stacks. If the Liberation is cast during Confession state, it will apply 8 stacks of Spectro Frazzle on hit. The Resonance skill Utter Confession That is the skill used to enter Confession state. Restores 40 Concerto. As for this playstyle, you would want to get access to her outro faster. While in Confession state, Phoebe's outro will grant a buff called Silent Prayer to the active character. This buff will stay for 30 seconds even if you switch characters. This buff reduces the Spectro resistance of enemies by 10% and grants 100% Spectro Frazzle amplification. When the Spectro Frazzle effect deals damage to enemies, it will extend Spectro Frazzle's damage dealing cycle by 50%. This buff will end after 30 seconds or if Phoebe switches to Absolution state. This is very important to get good results from the Spectro Frazzle playstyle. So basically, if you have 120 prayer, you can either do a heavy attack to enter Absolution or hold her resonant skill to enter Confession state. Absolution is for more on field damage and less Spectro Frazzle damage. And Confession is more Spectro Frazzle damage and less on field damage, which lets you play her as hybrid DPS. Now, between these two states, to put it bluntly without wasting any time, currently the Absolution state is much better than the Confession state. Unless we get another character that can abuse the Spectro Frazzle effect, her Absolution mode will be the best playstyle to go for. But you can choose to play whichever playstyle you like. The intro skill knocks back the enemies. The second inherent skill gives 12% Spectro damage bonus to Phoebe when in the Absolution and Confession state. The first inherent skill will let her become Harry Potter once more. You can become Harry Potter 6 times during one instance of being mid-air. And that is by doing a dash and using grapple, as they let you recast this skill. For her talent priority, prioritize her Forte circuit, followed by her Liberation, Resonance skill, Intro skill, and basic attacks. You can choose to skip the basic attack, since doing her basic attacks inside the Ring of Mirrors will enhance her attacks, which has separate multipliers tied to her skill. Moving on to her weapons. The best weapon for her will obviously be her signature weapon, Luminous Hymn. It gives her a ton of crit rate, attack percent, heavy and basic attack damage bonus if she hits an enemy that is affected by Spectro Frazzle, and also amplifies Spectro Frazzle damage after an outro. It is around 19 to 20% better than the standard option. But if you have Yinlin or Jeji's signatures, it is not that much of an upgrade over them. The String Master is always a very good option in general for DPS Catalyst users, and Jeji's signature provides a ton of crit damage, attack percent, and some basic attack damage bonus. The Cosmic Ripples is a good standard banner option, providing a lot of attack, basic damage bonus, and energy regen. The BP weapon, Augment at S5, is very similar to the Cosmic Ripples. Phoebe also has an amazing F2P option, Ocean's Gift, which you can get by doing the event. The best part is, this event is permanent, so you can get it no matter when you start playing this game. Waltz in Masquerade, the Renacita craftable option, is also a decent option, but there's no reason to use this when you can use the Ocean's Gift. Moving on to her echoes. There's only one echo set you would want to use on Phoebe. It is the Eternal Radiance. This set is tailor-made for her. It gives 20% crit rate and 25% Spectro damage bonus. However, while she is in Absolution state, she will need the assistance of Spectro Rover to achieve 10 Spectro Frazzle for the 15% Spectro damage bonus. And the Echo skill will be Nightmare Morning Aches, which deals nice damage without any animation and gives 12% Spectro damage bonus. For her Echo stats, crit on the 4-cost Echo, double Spectro damage bonus on the 3-cost Echo, or a combination of 1 attack percent and 1 Spectro damage also works. It can be a better option depending on your weapon, and attack percent on 1-cost Echo. For her Echo substats, prioritize crit rate and crit damage, followed by attack percent, flat attack, and heavy attack damage bonus. Basic attack damage bonus is also decent. Try to get around 10 to 15% energy regen on her, although it is not that important, but having this much can be helpful. Moving on to her team comps. For a DPS playstyle, that is the Absolution playstyle, the most essential character is someone that can apply Spectro Frazzle. Currently, it is only the Spectro Rover, so having the Spectro Rover in your team is a must. They also provide Spectro Resistance Shred from their 6th sequence, which is nice. Spectro Rover can be used as the sub-DPS with Moonlit Cloud set or a Sustained support with Rejuvenating Glow set. as they can heal from their S4. Senhua is an amazing option as a hybrid DPS due to her super fast rotation and outro buffs. She can also give attack buff from her S6. Mortefi is a similar option as he can deal a good amount of damage and can provide heavy attack damage bonus and 20% attack buff from S6, but he is a worse option than Senhua as he takes more field time. But since Senhua is needed in many team comps, you can use him in her place. You can also run a quick swap team comps using Changli. And if you are using the Spectro Rover as a sub DPS with Moonlit Clouds, you can use a sustained support like Verena, Shorekeeper, or Beiji in the last slot. And for a hybrid playstyle, you can use her in any team you want as an off-field damage dealer. She will be a very great pair with the Spectro Rover as they can also apply Spectro Frazzle, benefiting from Phoebe's outrow buff. Moving on to her rotations. Let's start with the Absolution state. During the preparation stage, try to apply 10 Spectro Frazzle on the enemy before switching into Phoebe. However, the Spectro Frazzle stacks go down very fast. This is not a problem because Spectro Rover has a very useful skill called Shimmer, which stops the Spectro Frazzle depletion for 9 seconds. But since he has a downtime of around 6 seconds, I recommend switching to your second character during that downtime to make the preparation faster. After you're done with preparation, intro to Phoebe. Use her Resonance skill. You can use it again to go inside the ring, or if you want crowd control, you can choose to stay outside, but staying inside is usually better for DPS. Then use a heavy attack to enter Absolution state. Use her Resonance Liberation and spam 3 normal attacks and a heavy attack Starflash combo 4 times, then outrow and repeat your rotation. Don't forget to use the Echo skill whenever it is ready. For a hybrid playstyle, get an intro if you can. Use her Resonance skill. You can use it again to go inside the ring, or if you want crowd control, you can choose to stay outside. Hold her Resonance skill, then use her Liberation, followed by 3 basic attacks and a heavy attack Starflash twice. Try to get her outrow as soon as possible for the buff. Moving on to her sequences. Phoebe's first sequence is decent. It significantly increases the damage multiplier of her Liberation in both the states. And in Confession state, the Liberation will apply the maximum amount of Frazzle stacks. The second sequence is quite good. The damage dealt by outrow skill to enemies that have Spectro Frazzle on them is increased by 120%. And the buff from the outro skill grants 120% more amplification to Spectro Frazzle. The third sequence gives multiplier increase to the heavy attack Starflash, which is very good for Phoebe. The fourth sequence reduces Spectro resistance of the enemies by 10% for 30 seconds. It might look less, but is actually good for Spectro Frazzle damage. But still, it's not much of an upgrade considering it is a high sequence. In her fifth sequence, the intro skill increases Phoebe's Spectro damage by 12% for 15 seconds. Not significant. It is only a stepping stone for the S6. The S6 increases Phoebe's attack by 10% for 20 seconds. And the ring triggers an extra heavy attack Starflash, which makes it her best sequence. Additionally, the S6 will immobilize enemies that enter the Ring of Mirrors. Are you saying that you cannot find any cool Wuthering Waves merches? Then don't worry, TTA Aesthetic got you covered. Not only Wuthering Waves, but also Genshin Impact, anime, and various different fandoms. From stylish clothes to epic accessories, shoes, bags, and more, with the best quality, TTA Aesthetic has your fandom covered. Shop now and wear your passion. Use the link in description or pinned comments and use my code 12th for extra 10% discount on any product you want. Lastly, some final thoughts on Phoebe. Phoebe is easily one of the top tier DPS, and she can be used in 2 playstyle, main DPS and hybrid DPS. She is one of the most F2P friendly unit in the game, as she has very strong free 4-star weapon option, and her best teams are also F2P friendly. Her attacks have very big AoE, making her one of the best AoE DPS too. Her problem is that her hybrid playstyle is lackluster. I think Kuro Games has planned a character that will be able to fully use this playstyle of Phoebe. She can be Harry Potter, which makes her a must-pull. Let me know in the comments what you think of Phoebe. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.